Today I'm going to do a garden tour, week 1, where I'm going to show you what's in the ground already. My son made those small garden beds because I am trying to use the earth itself and not buy soils, and trying to add compost and add organic materials and stuff like that. The idea is that my neighbors told me as soon as I got here that there's a lot of deer that will eat every single plant that you put down, so you have to have good fencing. However, this is not going to be the permanent place for the garden, so for that reason, I don't want to put permanent fencing. And adding other kinds of fencing, even not being permanent, was kind of too expensive. So what I thought is I would put some garden beds and kind of put a hoop on top, and that way I can kind of protect it, put some kind of netting, and that is the main purpose of those little garden beds. Right now they're all covered because I don't have the hoops yet, so I feel better when I go to bed and I cover them with those little Dollar Tree baskets. Does that mean that it's gonna work? I have no idea, but it makes me feel better when I go to bed. So I'll show you what I planted and what is growing, and I'll tell you a little bit of the plants. So this is the first bed. I have 6 tomato plants in here. They're very tiny, so I'm going to do close-up so you can see them. These are the ones that are struggling, but they were almost dead. I don't know if I mentioned, but my dog on the way here got a little upset and he stepped over all the plants. He got scared. He thought we were leaving, so he ran in and he basically kind of step on all of my tomato plants. These ones were really struggling, were small as that one in the corner right there. They were all like that, and now they're starting to grow. Like this one. This one was really struggling. It was on the floor and I put a little stick right there for support, and it seems like it's coming back. And this other one, as you can see, is doing much better. So they're all in different stages. This one, it has some new leaves right there. So they're all in different stages. I think it's 1, 2, 3 by 2 is this bed. And I'm doing the square foot garden method. So I do 1 plant per square feet for tomatoes. That's how much space they need. So this is the first one, and wood chips just to retain some moisture. And as we get into warmer temperatures, this will help retain more moisture. So that's why I have wood chips in this one. And these are just chips that we made with the wood chipper. This is bed number 2. And this one has 3 struggling musicians and 3 not so struggling ones. So first is this one. This one is pretty big compared to the other ones. And it has lots of new growth, as you can see right there. When we got here, we got freezing temperatures for a couple nights, and I was hardening them. I didn't know because we don't get cell signal here. So I couldn't check the weather, and they got a little bit of damage. This other one is also doing very well. It is growing. It has some new growth over there. I don't know why those 2 plants were the smallest ones, and they were the ones that grew the fastest. This one right here, I don't know what it is. I think it's a tomato, but I don't know. I'm giving it a chance. I don't think it's gonna survive though. And then this one here, it's a tiny one. It was as tiny as this little one at front. close as tiny as that one, but it's kind of surviving. And it's actually thriving right now with new growth, new leaves, and everything. There's a lot of little things like this that are growing. I don't know where they are. They have good roots and they grow very, very fast. So I'm assuming they're weeds. And as soon as I see them, like, there's a lot of them. But since I till the soil and everything, I feel like they come out too easy just to leave them there. Now, all of those were tomatoes. This is a 3x3 bed, and it has a combination of peas and lettuce, as you can see it right there. The rest is not planted. All of the plants here are doing very, very well. I didn't add wood chips because I don't have any more. I'm planning to do more over the weekend because it's really gonna help now that we're getting into the warmer temperatures. But on this, I don't remember the variety of lettuce. I think it's called purple. I'm not sure, but I have 6 of them. And again, I'm doing the square foot method where it tells me that I can plant 9 pea plants in 1 square foot. And oh wow, that one is growing very fast. It was almost dead, that little tiny one over there. That was the only one of all the peas that was struggling to survive because my dog stepped on it. And then for lettuce, you can do 4 per square foot. So that's why I had 6 plants that survived and they're all here. I could plant a couple more over there. I might do that. And then the rest, I'm not sure where I'm going to plant there, depending on, you know, the space that they take. Let me show you close up a little bit. This one is kind of big, so I put a little plastic fork on the side to give it some support. Eventually, they're all going to need support, and I'm going to put like a stick or something here to kind of help it grow upwards and not crawl. Now for the lettuce, it looks great too. As soon as I planted, it started doing much better, growing more leaves. Definitely enjoying the kind of cooler weather. This is another 3x2 bed, and with this one I did something different just to try and see how it worked, and I am not too happy on how it worked. I've been getting this kind of white things. I don't know if you can see it there. Let me move it. They seem like some kind of a fungus or something, that it's coming from the soil and not the wood chips. I don't know, let me see if I can show you up close. Can you see it right there? I have to do a little bit of research, but without internet it's kind of hard. That's what it looks like. Pretty weird. So I have 3 kind of very small and 3 medium-sized plants in this bed. Again, I didn't work through the soil in the other beds. I went like a deep down, and that way I buried compost and I did a lot of amendments to the soil, and this one I didn't. And I kind of did it on purpose to try to see how is the condition of the soil itself, but I realized that apparently it's not the best because it needs some amendments, and I have them, so I don't know why I didn't start it that way. This kind of experiment is setting back these tomatoes. Now let's go to that other bed over there that it's covered by cups because I ran out of those baskets. Here I have mostly broccoli. I have one here that is too close to the edge, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna move it since this is not attached to anything, and it actually was supposed to serve the purpose of adding the hoop on top for the deer. I have that other one over here that is also broccoli, like this one. I don't know if it's in frame. And that other one, it's also broccoli. The other one in the back that is struggling, it's also broccoli. And there's one more over there in the back. I don't know if you can see it right there. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants of broccoli. So maybe I'll get some of them, but they struggle a lot too because of all the traveling and the dog stepping on them. So they're kind of starting to come up. They needed a lot of support, so we added these little sticks and we tie them. I just have to move it a little bit more to the top so it helps grow up. But they were really struggling, and I didn't think that they were gonna make it, but they're growing just fine. Now over here, let me show you a close-up. This is a sad bell pepper. However, it has, I don't know if you can see it right there, but it has some new leaves growing. They seem very sad, so I don't know if it's gonna survive, but I will still give it a chance. Then over there is another bell pepper plant and another bell pepper plant. I'm assuming they're green, but I don't know because I had a couple of varieties and they got all mixed up. This was an old bunk bed RV thing that we got when we bought the trailer, and so since we have a different one, we kind of kept, there was 2 of them, I could only find 1. I'm hoping that the other one is somewhere else. What we did is we dig around and we kind of got as deep as we could. We added some compost and then buried the compost and put this on top. It is not attached to anything. However, it's kind of sinking into the earth because, of course, the rain. But that's cilantro, and as you can see, it's doing very well. And this is parsley. Now, these are my potato plants. They're doing very, very well despite the not being sun lately. We've had cloudy days and rainy days, and then more rain, and then a storm. So basically, they're doing great under the conditions that they are. They need a little bit more sun, but they're still doing very, very well. My onions are a different story. I don't know how they're doing. They shouldn't have gotten so much water. They don't like water so much. Some of them are a little kind of soft, I guess that's a word. And so I don't know how they're gonna do. I've never grown any kind of onions before, so I'm gonna give it a try anyways. I'm gonna let them stay there. They're gonna dry up because the weather is gonna get hot, and I can still eat this as green onions. So I mean, worst case scenario, we end up eating just the greens and not the onions. Hopefully I will be able to grow some onions. And then this is the future garden. It's kind of low, so that's why I didn't want to use it, but my son made for me that 10 by 3 bed where I plan to put the watermelons or pumpkins or corn, something like that. And I want to create a big bed like that one in another space here in the same back garden, and kind of plant all the bigger things, the things that take more room. So I'll keep the other ones on the front of the property and this one in the back. But we started the fence around this one and we haven't finished. So I'm a little scared because of the woods being right there. But I guess it's gonna have to do for now. And I'll try to protect it the best way I can. But that's the one that we have built for the back garden. And that is the plan for this weekend. So, wish me luck.